I'm joined today by Sarah Sisser. She is the executive director of the Hancock County Museum. And first of all, thanks for joining us today, Sarah. Glad to have you with us. And I know you've got a couple of great exhibits that you're currently featuring, so I want you to tell us a little bit more about it. The first one is titled Findlay Rocks.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for having me this morning. And, I think a lot of people, when they think about local history, especially in Hancock County, they might think about the gas and oil boom era, so sort of the 1880s, 1890s. But we really like to focus on some more modern history here at the museum as well. And those are a lot of fun for us. And we have right now an exhibit called Findlay Rocks, which looks at the local rock and roll bands that were here in the 1960s and the great venues that they played at. So we have a lot of people that have been coming in that it's very nostalgic for them. They have memories of listening to these bands, and you might be able to see some of it behind me here, and memories of the venues where they played as well. So the exhibit is actually interactive, and there are QR codes embedded in the exhibit, so you can scan those QR codes while you're here and listen to some of the recordings we have of those bands. And you can also listen to those recordings on a complimentary virtual exhibit on our website as well.
Wow, that sounds exciting. I think I might just have to check that one out myself. Now, you're also featuring another exhibit titled Findlay in the 50s, and I'm assuming this is pretty much what the title says, right?
That's right, and again, we're talking more modern history, the 1950s. So we have some great information and some great images of what life was like in Findlay, Ohio in the 1950s. And like much of the country, similar fashions, similar music tastes, but also sort of the retail establishments that we had downtown, what a day was like shopping downtown, and some of the transportation options that we had in Findlay in the 1950s. So life was different, but again, a lot of people have memories of those times. So come in and see those exhibits and remember what life was like in Findlay not too terribly long ago in the 1950s and 60s.
All right. Now, I know you've got a couple of other things you wanted to speak about. First Thursday of every month, you have your Brown Bag Lecture Series. Your next one is coming up on March the 2nd.
That's correct. So especially if you're a member of the Hancock Historical Museum, our Brown Bag Lectures, again, the first Thursday of each month, are always free for our members. They're just $3 if you're not a member. We have some really interesting topics throughout the year, something different each month, and you can get the full calendar of those lectures on our website at hancockhistoricalmuseum.org. But in March, we will have with us Dr. Chuck Coletta, and he is a professor of popular culture at Bowling Green State University. We've had him a few times. He's a wonderful speaker and just can speak on a variety of interesting topics, being that he's sort of a jack of all trades studying popular culture. So he's going to be discussing the quiz show scandals of the 1950s. So again, we have sort of a mid-century theme going on here at the museum, at least this first half of the year, with the 1950s and 60s. And so that lecture will fit right in with our theme. And again, if you're a member, it's free, but we'd love to have you come if you're not a member as well. You don't need a reservation, though we'd love to have you call and just let us know that you're coming so we can plan for the size group that we'll have. And you can bring your own lunch, come in and eat while you're listening to Dr. Chuck and sort of enlighten your lunch hour.
Okay, and something else, you also have a classic movie night on March the 17th.
We do, and in March will be The Quiet Man will be our movie, and that is always free and open to the public, our classic movie. And we have refreshments. We provide the popcorn. It's a great way to have a date night out in downtown, and we provide some great historical context about the film prior to screening it as well. So it's just a neat way to learn a little bit more about the history of those classic movies that we all love, and then watch the movie as well.
All right, we've got a graphic made up, so we can put this up now. Your total exhibits right now that you're focusing on, Findlay Rocks and Findlay in the 50s. And March 2nd, your Brown Bag Series. March the 17th, your classic movie night. And then March the 18th, a Victorian tea for the kids. So it sounds like you've got something for everyone.
We absolutely do, and I think that's always the case here at the Hancock Historical Museum. We have a busy calendar the entire year, and you can see all of those events listed on our website at hancockhistoricalmuseum.org.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and we'll be back with more right after this.